You know, few games are made that are just so good that anything that comes out after it is simply chasing whatever made the previous one so great. And this is really one of those games. Like, I feel that even now, in 2026, a full 34 years later, there's just hasn't been a game that has come out in this franchise that has even come close to this one. So today, we're going to talk about oh yeah, we're doing this today. So, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4 Turtles in Time is hands down, unquestionably, the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game. And, I mean, debatably, it's the best beat-em-up that's ever been made. And I really don't say this lightly. I mean, I have played beat-em-ups for so long, and this has to stand up against other things like the original Tmnt 1985 beat 'em up, Final Fight, X-Men, Simpsons, and I mean like so many other just fantastic games that have come out. And I mean, this game takes everything that makes a beat 'em up great and appealing, and then throws the skin of the beloved franchise on top of it, and it shined almost to perfection. It's incredible.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Now, just to be clear, I am talking about the Super Nintendo version, not the arcade one. And I mean, really, like Konami, when they took this game from the arcades and brought it to the Super Nintendo, they truly outdid themselves. Like, the only true negative that I have for this entire video that I'm going to make right now is that because of the Super Nintendo limitations, this game is only limited to 2 people playing at one time. If they could have had 4-player co-op on this game on the Super Nintendo, hands down, winner, best ever. Now, since I grew up in the late 80s and into the 90s, this was a huge thing for me. I was a massive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan. And even now, I still enjoy watching the shows, even though the new ones don't really, catch me so well. But after multiple shows, and I mean movies, and comics, and even musicals,
growing up in a glass bowl with chameleons, lizards, and tadpoles, it hardly enters your mind that there's something better than this.
Check those out, by the way. The brand was still pumping out merchandise, and it was still looking to deliver in the game space. Because until that point, like, they've had some good things, but nothing that really, killed it. And so, also, like, Konami was a major player in games at this time. This is before they made the massive switch to just pachinko and selling, air conditioners and whatnot. And so they released the arcade for Turtles in Time. And in all truth, like, the game is still very fun. It still has that nice 4-player, co-op beat 'em up thing that you just sink massive amounts of quarters into, and it'll just keep gobbling them up until you finally reach the end. And it did just as well. But this time, instead of the 1985 one, which they only really brought to Nintendo, they didn't have another console to bring it to, they were able to port this over to the Super Nintendo. Now, obviously, bringing it from an arcade to the home console, there's going to be limitations, and there's going to be certain type of adjustments you're going to have to make to the game. And I mean, they did, just a rock solid job, knocked it out of the park. I mean, they trimmed a lot of the fat from the arcade game, which, they had to add some stuff because it's meant to take your quarters. And then they refined it and polished it and then perfectly pared it down and had a pace for it. And it looked good. It played great. And in my opinion, it just beat out the arcade version in so many areas.
Damn, this some good ass cheese. How come you didn't tell me how good the cheese was? Motherfucker. Good ass cheese, man. What you looking at? I was Bob Eubanks looking motherfucker. You should have told me how good the cheese was.
Now, story-wise, the game basically follows the animated series, and as long as you've watched any episode, you kind of understand how it works. So this one starts out where the turtles are watching TV, and all of a sudden, Shredder shows up, well, at least Krang shows up in his robot body, and they steal the Statue of Liberty for whatever cockamamie scheme they come up with to take over the world. And so the turtles have to go into action and stop their plans as per usual, and when they fight Shredder in the Technodrome, they eventually get sucked into a portal that sends them through space and time. So not only do they get to fight in different time periods, but they get to fight in different kinds of locations, taking down Shredder's Foot Clan and trying their best to get back. And the end culminates with them coming back to the Earth, and they have to fight Shredder in front of the Statue of Liberty to put a stop to his dastardly plans. I mean, in all truth, the whole game is basically just one massive episode from the TV show, and they almost match it beat for beat. And then the sprite models they used and the Mode 7 graphics just really helped it show and present like an episode from the show. And speaking of the graphics, like, these are some of the best you'll find on the system, like hands down. The colors are bright and vibrant. The character models all move smoothly, and they all have fantastic animations. The turtles all look great, and they even have their own special idle animations. So like Raphael will blow on his sai, or Michelangelo will just twirl around his nunchucks. And so all the stances and things like that they have are all representative from the show as well. So it really helps like sell that this is an episode from the show. And then on top of that, all the stages look awesome. Like, they each have their own look and feel with different color palettes that pop, and your turtles never get lost in it, which is even better. And then the other thing on top of that is that they put it all together and they throw in a surprising amount of things on screen, which is kind of weird that it suffers no slowdown either. And even the enemy color palettes are set up well enough to where you can tell exactly where they are. And not only that, the different color-coded enemies help you pick out what kind of strategies you need to employ at the time. So it just knocks everything out of the park with that particular look. And I mean, combat-wise, this game is polished to beat 'em up perfection. I mean, okay, so you get the basic one attack button, one jump button, and movement is tied to the D-pad. Now, your basic attack will perform a regular combo. You can, do your regular hits and all that. Then jump is basically jump. But if you press attack and jump at the same time, you get a special attack for each turtle, and each one is a little bit different from the other. But if it connects with one of the enemies on screen, it'll take a little bit of health, but basically it's a one-hit kill for any type of basic enemy you come across. And if you change the timing of your attack when you press jump, you'll get some different things. So if you press attack right after pressing jump, you'll get a little forward moving kick move. So it helps like send you forward, gives you a little momentum. But if you do it about halfway up or so, you'll get a fast dive kick, which can help you jump in and get fast damage, and it can knock enemies back or position you behind bosses so you can get extra attacks in. And the last one is, if you wait until you get to right at the apex of the jump, you get this nice floating, multi-hitting, like slow-moving move that you can get around or even avoid enemy attacks with it. So knowing when to use these can help create either space or attack opportunities that you'll need for like whatever situation you're in. And then on top of that, you can perform a run by double tapping the left or right directional pad, depending on which way you want to go. And if you attack out of it, you get a shoulder bash, and that stuns any enemy that you hit. So that can lead to a follow-up. You could either do a combo or you can get a grab off. And then if you press jump while running, you'll get this little backflip animation, and you can dodge some attacks, or you can press the attack button as soon as you hit the animation, and they'll do this little sliding move. So you get all of these extra options just running around the stage. And then to put on top of that, the grab system is unique in that depending on which direction you're pressing whenever you grab an enemy in the game, it'll change the kind of attacks you get. So first, like if you grab an enemy and you're just neutral, or if you press left or right, you'll throw the enemy at the screen. really, not many games have that, to where the enemy just comes flying at you like it's about to pop out. And the other one is, if you're holding the up button or the down, I think it's just up, while you're in the grab motion, the character will get slammed around like an old Looney Tunes cartoon or Hulk from the Avengers movie slamming Loki around. I mean, whenever I was a kid, this crap blew my mind. Like, I didn't know you could do stuff like this and have this happening around you. And then the other good thing is the slam attack, to where you slam them back and forth, it also hits other enemies and causes like massive damage. So it's not only just visually appealing, it's combat-wise, you get this nice attack move, and it's invincible, so nothing attacks you while you're doing it. And I mean, it's just, even whenever I pick this game up just to play a couple of levels and like go away, it's still so satisfying to either throw the enemy at the screen or slam them around Looney Tunes style. It's just, it's so much fun. And on top of that, all 4 turtles play slightly different from each other. Not like huge, but small enough. Like Leonardo, he's an all-rounder. He's even-speeded, he's got decent reach, and, you know, his defense and his attack are pretty much even. Donatello, however, is the slowest moving turtle in the game. Even his run speed is slower than the other 3, but he has the longest reach, and he can hit multiple enemies at a time. But Raphael is the inverse. He can move the fastest, he has the fastest attack speed, and he can get grabs pretty easy, but his reach is the shortest. So, and also, I think he takes a little bit extra damage because he's so much faster. And then you have Michelangelo, who's more on Raphael's side. Even though his defense is decent and his movement speed is medium, he also has short reach, but his attacks are pretty much the hardest hitting in the game. And maybe it's just me, but I feel Michelangelo gets easier grabs out of everyone in the game. I don't know, but it could just be like, you know, turtle bias. And as stated before, the enemies come in many different flavors: purple, pink, blue, red, orange, and each one has some different quirk. Like purples are the basic, blues have katanas and can do jumping attacks and stuff like that. The pinks will have these, I don't know what you call them, but they're basically shields and they can block your attacks, so you have to use like the dash and grab system. And so each one will change how you're going to approach a different type of like enemy set. So you'll have to prioritize certain enemies and move around. And I really think that they really help out in varying up and setting the pacing for this game. And then the stages are also filled with a ton of personality. Like each stage intro is literally seared into my brain.
Big Apple, 3 a.m. Alley Cat Blues, Sewer Surfing, Technodrome, Let's Kick Shout, Prehistoric Turtlesaurus, Skull and Crossbone, Bury My Shell at Wounded Knee, Neon Knight Riders, Starbase, where no turtle has gone before, Technodrome, the final shell shock.
And then, not only that, each one has its own set of obstacles to go along with its theme, and they all just offer a variety of places to just destroy enemy ninja robots. Like wrecking balls and manholes, like to laser beams and frozen plates to step on. Each one just gives you a different kind of challenge and just plays into the overall feel of the game. And the bosses are great because they just cover the gamut of like the shows, the movies, and all of the comics and everything else that's played into it. Like Baxter Stockman, Rat King, the Shredder, even Toka and Razar from the second movie make an appearance as bosses in the Technodrome. I mean, the final boss is even the Super Shredder, which didn't even exist until the second movie. And I mean, it's just, if you're a fan of the franchise, from any angle, this game pretty much gives you at least something that you're going to recognize. And it's just the range at which they've added these bosses and each fight are just so satisfying. Like, no fan can walk away from this game and not be happy. And I mean, the team who took the original soundtrack and brought it to this game is just, oh. I mean, this thing is just hit after hit after hit. I mean, it does not miss with any of its tracks. I mean, the two people, Kazuhiko Uehara and Harumi Ueko, like, they deserve all the rewards, all the praise that a game company or that just a composer or arranger could receive. Because they took Mitsuhiko Izumi's original arcade versions and just sent them into the stratosphere. I mean, just listen to these things and tell me I'm wrong. Do not sit there and tell me you didn't feel something stirring your wiggly bits. I mean, just listening to this just brings me back. And I mean, this is the only game that you can use that it was perfect meme. And I mean, there's no comedy to it because it's all facts.
I prefer the real Raven. I said the real Raven. Perfection.
And even the 2-player co-op, which sucks because you can't get the 4-player, but like they give you the 2-player co-op, they give you a time trial, they give you a versus mode, and then they give you all these extra options to help you enjoy the game you want to enjoy it. Like, literally, the only knock is that they couldn't add more players. And truly, since this game has released, the closest that anyone has come to touching this thing, I mean, to even being in the same room as this game, is the 2022 Shredder's Revenge game. And that game was mostly a love letter to just old Turtle games, and especially Turtles in Time from the SNES. So, I mean, like, Ubisoft did try. I will say that. Ubisoft tried. They called it Tmnt 4 Reshelled in like 2009, I think. But like, that thing was trash. It was just a garbage version of the arcade game, and they were trying to sell it like the SNES version, but it was not. The Super Nintendo version, it was not. It was a worse version of the arcade game, and the fans literally called them out, and then they just criticized that game into oblivion. Like, Turtles in Time 4 on the Super Nintendo, you can't beat this game. Sadly, we've come to the end of this video, but I want anyone who watches this, even if you just watched a little bit of it or you just skip to this back, like, go out and buy the Cowabunga collection, because it's officially supported, you know, and that's the best way to show the developers we love this type of stuff. And just to play this game specifically. Like, you'll get all the other Ninja Turtles games, of course, like, get the rest of them, but this game specifically, you should be buying that collection for. Now, of course, if you don't want to do that, that is also fine. Emulation is on the table, and emulation is literally just everywhere. You can do it on your phones. You could almost do it on toasters nowadays because they're so technologically advanced. But still, I think you should, like, drop some cash and give them the time and show it. Now, the only other way you could play it outside of emulation or the Cowabunga collection is if you go out and spend the ridiculous amount of money to get original hardware. But seriously, just do the other two ways. It's the easiest one. But, like, dude, play this game. Trust me, it's fast, it's fluid, it's fun, and it only lasts about an hour to an hour and a half, even if you're, like, taking your time just to beat the game. For real, dude, like, play this game. Seriously, go out, play the damn game. Get out of here and go play. What are you doing? Get out! Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching to the end. As per usual, please like, please comment, let me know. Do you feel the same way I do? Am I overly obsessed or just completely out of my mind by saying these things? Or do you think that this game really isn't all that and you'd rather do anything else? Just let me know in the comments. Also, if you would be so kind, please subscribe. That way I can continue making more of my content. All right, with that, I'll see you later.